For centuries, humanity has lifted its gaze to the stars, wondering what secrets drift in the darkness between them. We have mapped planets, traced comets, and catalogued countless asteroids, believing our solar system was a closed neighborhood, where everything followed predictable rules. But every so often, the universe reminds us we are not the only players on this stage. The James Webb Space Telescope, built to peer back in time and capture the first light of galaxies born after the Big Bang, has now turned its gaze on something much closer, something faster, stranger, and undeniably alien. Astronomers call it 3 Atlas, an interstellar traveler moving with such precision that natural explanations are running out. At first, it was dismissed as just another rock, maybe a fragment cast off from a distant star system long ago. But then the anomalies began to pile up. Its orbit was too exact, its surface too reflective, its movements too deliberate. And now, with Webb capturing the clearest images humanity has ever seen of this enigmatic visitor, an uncomfortable truth is taking shape. 3 Atlas may not be a comet at all. It may be a machine, built by hand, or by something far older and far more advanced than our own. And if that is true, then its arrival is not just a discovery, it is a message. When 3 Atlas was first detected on July the 1st by the NASA-funded Atlas survey, it appeared to be nothing more than a faint speck against the velvet black of space. But within days, astronomers realized it was extraordinary. Its speed measured at over 133,000 miles per hour, faster than almost anything we've ever tracked. More alarming still, it wasn't bound to the sun's gravity the way natural bodies usually are. Its orbit was hyperbolic, meaning it came from interstellar space and in theory would leave again. That alone made it one of the rarest objects ever discovered. Only the 3rd interstellar visitor humanity has ever confirmed, after Oumuamua and Borisov. But unlike them, its trajectory was unsettling in its precision. It swept near the orbits of Jupiter and Mars, slingshotting around the Sun in a maneuver so perfectly timed that Earth was on the opposite side when it made its closest approach. Coincidence? Some said yes, but others saw intention. And when Webb's instruments locked onto it, those suspicions only deepened. Instead of a jagged, tumbling rock, 3 Atlas reflected light like polished metal. It rotated with steady rhythm, stabilized, as if by design. Natural objects don't fly like this. Machines do. The more Webb revealed, the stranger it became. Its surface shimmered with an unnatural brightness, brighter than cometary ice could ever produce. Faint but repeating thermal pulses rippled across its surface, not random emissions, but measured bursts of heat, released in intervals so precise they resembled code. Natural objects don't send messages, yet here was something in our skies radiating patterns that hinted at intent. The stabilization of its spin, the orientation of its flight, the way it managed its heat intake, everything about it whispered technology, not geology. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who once argued that Oumuamua might have been artificial, pointed to these details as the strongest evidence yet of engineered design. He warned, look for non-gravitational acceleration. And sure enough, Webb detected tiny, deliberate course corrections, shifts in trajectory too subtle for sunlight or gas jets to explain. Something inside 3 Atlas was steering it. Then came the most chilling discovery of all. The pulses of heat weren't random. They followed sequences, prime numbers, then Fibonacci patterns, then ratios suspiciously close to pi. These are not the accidents of physics. These are hallmarks of communication. In the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, scientists have long believed mathematics is the universal language, the one way to prove intelligence across the stars. And now, here it was, not in radio, waves but in heat. A signal coded into the very way the object radiated energy. Some argued it was meant for us, waiting for us to notice. Others feared it wasn't for us at all, but for someone else, another receiver far beyond our reach, and then silence. Observation logs vanished, databases froze, updates were locked behind closed doors. Governments, once eager to share, suddenly went quiet. And in that silence, speculation turned into wildfire. Was 3 Atlas talking to Earth? Or were we just eavesdropping on a conversation that was never meant for us? Each new revelation made one possibility harder to ignore. 3 Atlas is artificial, its heat shielding, its stabilized spin, its coded signals, even faint electromagnetic bursts. All of it screamed design, not accident. If it is a probe, then it means someone, somewhere, has been building machines capable of crossing the stars. Machines that could have been launched thousands, even millions of years ago. But for what purpose? Some scientists argue it's a surveyor, cataloging planets and civilizations for a vast interstellar network. Others think it's a relic, an ancient machine still carrying out its mission long after its creators are gone. The most chilling theory, that it is a sentinel, deliberately revealing itself now that humanity has the technology to detect it. Not a messenger, but a test. Because if 3 Atlas is watching us, then maybe it isn't here to communicate at all. Maybe it's here to decide what happens next. As scientists continue to track it, one detail grew harder to dismiss: its avoidance of Earth. Plotted against planetary orbits, its trajectory was almost too perfect. It skimmed Mars. It skimmed Jupiter. But it stayed millions of miles away from Earth, so precise that the odds of coincidence were vanishingly small. That's not random drift. That's precision. Some said it was caution, an advanced probe observing us from a safe distance. Others suggested strategy, a machine ensuring it could watch without being detected too early. And that raises a terrifying question. How many? Times has it, or others like it, passed through our solar system without us ever noticing. Webb's thermal scans revealed more. Unlike natural objects, which rotate freely and expose all sides to the sun, 3 Atlas kept one side oriented toward the star, like a shield. That side reflected light far more efficiently than the rest, hinting at deliberate engineering. Solar sail, a heat-resistant armor, a cloaking mechanism. Whatever it was, it meant one thing for certain. 3 Atlas was built to endure, not for days, not for years, but for eons. And perhaps it wasn't alone. In the background of Webb's images, faint anomalies appeared, dim reflections, subtle distortions, possible companions traveling in its wake. Some dismissed them as artifacts, but cross-checks from ground-based telescopes suggested otherwise. Could 3 Atlas be just one of many? A swarm, a caravan of probes, scattered across the void? If so, then what Webb captured wasn't a lone traveler. It was only the leading edge of something larger. At first, news spread quickly. NASA, ESA, independent observatories, updates poured in. But as Webb's images became clearer and the anomalies harder to explain, the openness collapsed. Data that was once public suddenly required clearance. Reports were redacted. Observatories went dark. Journalists pressing for answers got only vague statements about ongoing analysis. And then came the leaks, fragments of information, whispers of deliberate movement, coded signals, and electromagnetic bursts. Even Elon Musk chimed in online, hinting that Webb had captured the clearest sign yet that we are not alone. Whether speculation or privileged knowledge, one thing was certain. 3 Atlas forced the world's most powerful institutions to choose between transparency and secrecy. And their silence may speak louder than anything else. 3 Atlas was supposed to be a fleeting curiosity, another rock passing through our system before vanishing forever. But Webb has shown us otherwise. Its shield, its precision, its signals, its possible companions. None of it points to chance, all of it points to intention. If this is a machine, then somewhere out there its makers are real. Beings who already mastered interstellar travel. What they want and why they've chosen now remains the greatest mystery of all. Perhaps they are waiting. Perhaps they are measuring. Or perhaps they're simply watching. The silence from agencies, the avoidance of Earth, the coded patterns in the heat. All of it feels like a test, and if it is a test, then the outcome may not be ours to decide, because the universe has sent us a messenger. And whether we are ready or not, the silence will not last forever, so keep watching. Because the next glimpse of 3 Atlas could change the story of humanity forever.